do it.
We're doing it. Okay, we are recording, and this is the Benefit Counselor training call for Desert Christian Schools, and it is Thursday, the 23rd, 7 o'clock, or actually 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And what we're going to do is just kind of go over the enrollment, and hopefully I'll be able to fill you guys in on what the broker's expecting, what the account is expecting, what Mike's expecting, and just briefly go through the guidelines. I have them up, and you'll see I highlighted a lot of things because there were a lot of changes after 5 p.m. last night. So I was in rush mode to make all those changes today. So the database is ready. However, with that being said, I still need to do some testing, which I'll probably do tomorrow, which is still good because we're not enrolling first thing in the morning. So that'll be a first. Okie dokie. So Desert Christian Schools. Mike, is that you? Hello? Did we lose somebody or gain somebody? Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going as long as, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, just want to make sure that happened once before and I found it like 10 minutes later. I was talking to nobody, so just want to make sure. Alrighty. Okay, so this account is obviously a school. They have multiple locations, but we're only going to be enrolling in 2. There's about 146 employees. Some of them are full-time core benefit eligible. Some are eligible for colonial because they work 20-plus hours. And I would guess that out of the 146, Rod, I know we spoke the other day, about 80 are on the medical, just to kind of give you an idea. So anybody who's 30-plus hours and the system is set up, that they have to be 30-plus hours to be able to even see the core benefits. They're eligible for the core benefits, but we can offer colonial to 20-plus. So that opens up the field for a lot more employees, which is really good. By the way, the broker on this account is Ray Dick. I don't know if any of you know Ray, but he's actually a real great guy, great broker to work with. And another side note, even though they got me everything extremely late on this account, they are very nice. And they're very excited to have us out there. So that's always a plus. So I'm willing to always bend over backwards and do stuff at the last minute for people who are actually really nice to me. So nice group of folks over there. And Laura is the main contact that you'll be dealing with when you're on site, I believe. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down here because there were some changes and just go over them real quickly. And that'll just kind of keep me in line so I don't repeat myself. There are what they called 10-month employees, and there are 12-month employees because they're teachers. Originally, what we were going to do was set up the 10-month employees to be deducted 20 times a year versus 24. So more would just come out of their paycheck to account for the difference. However, that's not the way the accountant does that, and I found that out, of course, last night. They're going to deduct everybody semi-monthly. So all the premiums will look the same for an employee in the same class. What they do is that the last 2 months that they're working, so month 9 and 10, they double dip the employees. And if they end up staying and they come back the following year, the company's covered for the full 12 months. If the teacher does not come back, they reimburse them the difference. So it's a unique way of doing it, and that's on the back end. So that's just a side note. So everybody will have the semi-monthly deductions, but the company is going to take care of the difference between those employees on the back end, so we don't have to worry about that. And by the way, originally, because we thought that was going to be a huge difference, the account was set up with 2 billing control numbers. The only issue with that, because we're doing East Central versus Harmony, is that you're going to kind of have to keep track of who you see. Now, what I did do was I did put a division build out in East Central. So for reporting purposes, if we really need to know who's who, I have a Division 10 and Division 12, so we know. Plus, I do have a census, and I'll probably provide it to you guys, the employees' names, with whether they're 10 or 12. But we had a full census, so that's also uploaded in the system. So when you see their profile, it'll tell you if they're a 10 or 12-month employee. So you just might want to note it on a piece of paper. So when you go to transmit on Harmony, you know what sales summary to attach it to BCN 10 or BCN 12. So that's probably about the only thing manually you're going to have to do and keep track of is the transmitting process, making sure that you attach the right application to the right BCN number. And that's just going to be taking notes on your end for that. Dates, we're going to have a meeting on Monday. Susie has graciously decided to go do that for us. It's at 1:30, and it's because they're having one massive meeting with all the teachers. So aside from, I think, the preschool teachers, it's going to be one large meeting with the majority of the teachers on Monday at 1:30. Enrollment, we told them it is going to be Tuesday and Wednesday, the 20th and 29th. However, I'm leaving the 30th as a cleanup day. We're just not telling them about the 30th, and I do not have a day unslotted for the 30th, because then everybody, they always wait the last day and sign up. So we can go to the 30th. I'm just trying not to go to the 30th. So we got the 2 BCN numbers. I already went over about the 10 and 12. So that means everybody's semi-monthly, no matter if they're 10 or 12. Now, as of last night as well, we found out that the account has classifications. We did not know this, and then I thought there were 2 that I found out last night, and then as of this morning, it turns out there's 4 of them. So I'll show you where all that information here is in a second. Enrollment schedule. Okay, we have Susie going on Monday to the meetings. What I did is I have Susie at the high school campus, and the address is right up here. For the high school campus, and then going back to the high school campus, Susie, on Wednesday, but only half a day, because I think you're going to be done, and then you can meet up with everybody else at the main campus. So I have you from 8 to 12 on the second day, and then going from 12:31 after you take your break till 4 p.m. with Rod, Monica, and Stacy. So here's everybody's schedule. Obviously, we'll play it by ear depending on how many people sign up on the slotted. As of last check, 32 have signed up so far, which is not bad because the second phase of the email campaign won't go out again until tomorrow. So you might have floaters. And what's going to be really great is I made the slotted scheduler open. So when you click on that URL, you can see everybody who signed up, which is going to be good. So you won't be able to see their personal information, but you'll see what time slot is filled and the name of that particular teacher. If somebody pops in and they say, hey, can you take me right now? All you have to do is look at the scheduler and see if one of you are open. This way you're not pushing off somebody else who might have been scheduled and running 2 minutes late, and you can just, block them in. Or if somebody comes in and says, I don't have time right now, can I reschedule for tomorrow? You can also hit the X box, and I'll show that to you, and then just add them to a different time. However, the slotted is set up to require name, phone number, email, and job title. If you're the one adding it for them, you can put whatever job title you want and, whatever, fake email you want, but just at least get their phone number in case you have to follow up with them. I put that also in the guidelines as well in case that happens. Again, 30+ hours for the core benefits, 20+ hours for the colonial. And there's no waiting period. So everybody's eligible for the 9/1 coverage effective date. Alrighty, I'm going to just scroll down here a little bit quickly. By the way, instead of deleting some of the stuff, I intentionally left it in there just in case, just a CYA, if like next year somebody brings it up, we could see the progression of how things changed, and we have some notations on that. So that's why I left some of the stuff in here. Core benefits, we actually only have 4. 2 Kaiser plans, a base deductible HMO, and a buy-up, and 1 dental and 1 vision. And since it's Kaiser, even though it's an HMO, you don't have to collect the primary care physicians, which is nice. On Kaiser, they did have on Essential the applications mapped, which are really great, so you can do the forms right there electronically. Now, for the dental and vision on MetLife, they did not, because of the way it was tiered, they did not have those applications mapped on Essential. So I did request the broker to drop ship that to the group. So they will be coming. However, since I did that, I spoke to MetLife, and they said, providing I have all the information they require on a census, they will not require the manual application. So now you guys are off the hook. You don't need to do the manual applications, even though they'll be there when you get there. Just make sure that all the information that we need is in there. So even though the census had all the employee information, we did not have dependent information. So if somebody has a dependent, we need that social security number. We need to know the relationship and all that good stuff, because that's what's going to be required for the MetLife census on the back end, especially if we're not going to do the manual election forms for the MetLife dental and vision. Okay, moving right along. This was all the changes that happened. Yeah.
A real quick question. Are there any changes to their medical, dental, and vision, or are they the same coverages that they had last year?
It's the same coverages that they had last year, and I remember seeing where it might have gone up or gone down slightly. I'll take a look at that email and see if I can find it, because I thought it was on one of the grids, like it went up like 4% or down 4%, but I can confirm that for you and get back to you. But as far as I know, it's the same plans. So no changes, which is good. If I find out otherwise, I will let you know. And by the way, I also requested MetLife, since they were sending the manual enrollment forms anyway that we now don't need, I asked them to also send the benefit summaries. Even though I sent it to you in PDF, I asked them to send, double what they have that are people enrolled, because I told them we're hoping to increase their participation numbers. So you don't have to hand it out to every single person you sit with, but if they, get a dental or vision, you will have those benefit summaries on hand. That's supposed to be drop shipped to Laura at the main location. So Susie, since you're the one going to the high school the next day on Monday, maybe you can see if the shipment came in, and so you can grab yourself some of those benefit summaries for the MetLife to bring with you the following day. Okay. Awesome. I talked about the back end already of the 10 months versus 12 months. Employees working 30 plus hours eligible for all benefits, 20 plus hours for Colonial only. Here are the classifications. Here's where it got sticky today. They have 4. One's called salaried employees. One is hourly employees. They have one that's called 30 plus part-time salary employees. And they've got one that's called admin. So in the Essential database, and they all have different employer contributions to boot on top of all this. It is all built out in Essential. So if somebody doesn't work 30 plus hours, they're not going to see any of this anyway. Somebody who works 30 plus hours, if they are admin, we had all the classes added today. I added it to the census, reloaded it. So you should only see what's applicable to that employee. Yay! You're supposed to say yay. Okay. So on the here, salary, yay, there you go. Salary employees, 75% employer paid for the medical and the dental, for employee and dependents. Good. The only thing that they have to pay is like 25%, and the vision and Colonial. By the way, vision and Colonial is employee paid for everybody. So then you have the hourly employees. That's 50-50. And the employer also pays, not just for the employee, but for the dependents as well, 50%. So for both the base, and I'm referring to the base plan of the Kaiser, by the way, the base plan and the dental. The 30 plus part-time salary, there's a little difference. They also have 50% employer contribution, but on the medical only and for the employee only. So not for the dental and not for the family. Admin class, they're the ones who get a lot of good stuff. They're 100% paid for the base medical Kaiser plan and the dental for them and their dependents. So if they want the Kaiser buy-up, what you're going to see in there, I've already plugged in the rates. It's just the difference of for everybody. So you're not going to have to do any calculations. Vision has no employer contributions for anybody, so it's 100% employee paid, but they still have to work 30 plus hours. And Colonial is 100% employee paid, 20 plus hours. So here are your 4 classifications. And like I said, you shouldn't have to really do anything unless somebody's not in the system or there's a screw up somewhere. But of course, just call me, let me know if that happens. And just so you, I wanted you to know what the buy-up options were. This is how monthly more expensive it is from the Kaiser. So it's their percentage plus this a month. And the system is set up to do per pay period. So even though all the monthly rates and everything's in there, when you're in the employee screen enrolling them, of course, just like in Colonial, it's going to calculate it for semi-monthly 24 deductions. Colonial, we only have 4 plans. We got accident, group medical bridge, cancer assist, and critical illness. By the way, they do have AFLAC in place. They have Aflac accident, Aflac cancer, and there might be like one person on some form of specialized, specified disease. I'm guessing it's their version of critical illness. Accidents, GI anyway, but for the cancer, Wayne Hamilton waived the 30-day wait for anybody who has the Aflac. So there is credit for time insured for the 30-day wait on the cancer plan. Critical illness, I have Peggy in there. I calculated if we're basing on the full 146 employees, we need about 14 apps. If you're close to that, let me know, because I could probably talk to Wayne, because there is a little bit of a difference between the classes there, and we might get that reduced. Colonial website, available. Okay, here we go. Here are the links. So, easy enough.
Wait,
click
Ronnie,
on the link.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go back up to the group. I couldn't get it unmuted. Go back up to Group Medical Bridge, and it says
Yes.
GI. I didn't hear you say it.
Okay, I believe it's GI. I'll verify that for you.
Okay, you skipped over, so then I thought, well, I wondered.
Yeah, I believe it's a guaranteed issue, but I'll
Connie, I have a
confirm.
question.
Sure.
No, this is this part I missed. They currently do not have a medical bridge plan in place with Aflac, or they do?
No, they have accident, cancer. You know what I'm going to do? I thought I sent it, but I don't think I did. I'm going to send you the Aflac bill, and you guys will see who has what. And then this way, if you can ask them, hey, did you have Aflac? And if they don't know, you can look at the bill. So I'm taking some notes down while we're talking. I'm going to confirm the group medical bridge GI, and I'm going to send you guys the Aflac. Let me check on that. That might have been from a previous, because we do a lot of copying and pasting. So I will double check if it's GI or if there's just a Peggy on there. So I will get back to all of you with those answers and the Aflac bill.
Okay.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to, because I stare at this all day long. And that's just kind of in my face to remind me for tomorrow. Slotted, this is obviously the scheduler. And let me see if that's pulling up. Control click. So you can see all the people on there. It's not going to show, I'm surprised it's showing their phone numbers, maybe because it might be my view, not your view. But you can see a lot of people are signing up, so that's really good news. If you need to cancel someone, X them out and add them if you need to. So everybody has access to that. Uville site, awesome. It has also the resources, so it has the medical benefit summaries in there as well. And it also has a click link here for anybody who wants to go to the scheduler, in addition to all the consumerism we sent out. So how we had sent out is first on Monday, the employer just sent an Aflac and also a letter regarding Colonial and just the whole process and the enrollment. On Tuesday, the first employer endorsement went out on the consumerism. Tomorrow, the first JOLT email will go out to everybody. On Monday, Susie will be doing the presentation. On Tuesday morning, they're going to get another email saying, hey, your enrollment has started. So if they haven't already signed up, and with all these emails, there's going to be to schedule, click here. So they can click directly on any of these consumerism emails that comes to them. And then on Wednesday, there'll be a final email saying, hey, today's the last day, schedule now to go visit your benefit counselor. So they're going to be bombarded with stuff. eSentral URL, it's Desert Christian Schools.essential.com. And I also, I sent it to you in a separate PDF document, and I put it on the guidelines. These are the temporary logins for everybody, and it's in alphabetical order by last name. So, just log into eSentral, put in their temporary username and password, and then have the employee put in their own permanent, just like what we would do in Harmony. And I believe that is it for the guidelines. Does anybody have any specific questions or need some additional information from me that I can provide?
Yes, I have a quick question, Mrs. Stacy.
Sure.
Is Aflac staying or is this an Aflac takeover?
Takeover. They are losing the slot. So it's going to be replaced with Colonial. The slot won't be there anymore. Obviously, if it's not in their best interest to switch them,
Right.
you know, for whatever reason, they're in the process of a claim, or, you know, they have a cancer plan and they're going through cancer right now, obviously, you know, tell them they can take it portable. So they have the option to take the Aflac portable, but if they want it payroll deducted in that pre-tax savings, they'll have to switch it over to the Colonial
Sounds great. Thank you.
with the Aflac. And I knew that then brought up one more question for me, and I just kind of spaced out on that. So while I'm trying to think of that, does anybody else have any other questions?
I just want to verify, on the cancer plan, there is credit for time served, correct?
On the waiting, the 30-day wait.
Oh, on the 30-day wait.
Yeah, because if they have cancer, right, there's no like pre-X waived. It's just credit for time insured. And unlike disability, the only thing that has
12
time
months.
on there is you know, well, yeah, but he only gave it on the waiting period, not like the disability where the credit for time insured for the, 12, they look back 12 months for the first 12 months going forward. With the cancer plan, obviously if they've had cancer in the last 12 months, that's a different story. They're not waiving the pre-X on that. So it's just credit for time insured. The credit for time insured is only for the waiting period.
30
30-day for the health screening. Mm-hmm.
Well, not the health screen. 30 days for
The 30-day, yeah. I'm sorry. The 30-day waiting
screen,
period.
Yeah.
It's for them to be able to file for that. Yeah. So every state's a little different. It's weird because one of the other states, they don't even have that.
It doesn't have anything to do with filing a health screen, though. It's just a 30 day. You're just not covered for the first 30. They will not pay for diagnosis of cancer in the first 30 days, is what that is. That's what that is.
Yeah, it's the waiting period. But it's funny because, like, here in Idaho, it's really strange. In Idaho, we don't have that 30-day wait for benefits, but we have the 30-day wait for the health screening rider, which is crazy because how would you know you had cancer unless you had a health screening test? And you wouldn't go for one if you have a 30-day wait. So maybe that was their logic because they knew that they can get away with it. But unfortunately, that's kind of strange. But we don't have that 30-day wait here. I have to keep on remembering. Yeah, in California, you have the 30-day wait, and that is waived credit for time insured for the Aflac people only. Cool. I know there was something else that I was meaning to mention to you guys, and it totally escapes my mind at the moment. So obviously, when I send you the updated GMB information regarding the, if there's any guaranteed issue or PEGI and the Aflac, I will put that in an email to everyone. Also, in the meantime, we have plenty of time, or well, for us, plenty of time. If you have any questions, once you get a chance to really review this and chew on this, let me know. I was going to send you guys a test employee to play around with, but I can't do that yet because I literally finished loading the stuff about 20 minutes ago, and I haven't tested everything yet. So I want to test it first and make sure that everything is ready to go. Then I'll see about sending you guys a test employee.
Hey, Ronnie.
Is there anybody who's... I'm sorry?
When is the recording going to be ready? I had to drop out for a little bit.
I will
tomorrow?
finish it. Yeah, because I know Dana wants to use my GoToMeeting, and I told her that I would, as soon as we get off, I'd let her know. So I will start to do the download of it right when we get off, and I'll try to get it posted tonight. If not, I'll post it on a YouTube link for you tomorrow.
Tomorrow will be fine. Yes, great.
Yeah, I'll send it to everybody. So if anybody needs to, look back on this, but almost everything I went over is in these guidelines.
Okay.
So it's in there, except for the couple of things that I need to verify for you guys. So that is pretty much it, unless anybody has anything to add. And by the way, this was for you, Rob. I put in right here about 80 plus for the core. And that's on the medical, probably less on the dental and vision. Okay. Oh, by the way, is there anybody, Stacy, you've used Essential?
Sorry, I had to unmute you. Yes, several times.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to make sure because I know everybody else has. So perfect. Alrighty, I am going to end the recording unless anybody has any further questions.
No, sounds good. Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay, thank you guys so much for coming on. Oh, one last thing. The broker, and I know it does not need to be said, but I'm going to say this anyway. The only thing he was concerned about, I asked him, you know, if he didn't want to, he didn't need to be on the call, but if there's anything he wanted me to convey, and the only thing he asked was, please don't, no pushy, you know, no pushy sales. And, you know, Mike and I already assured him that that's not the case. You know, we've got our top benefit counselors on this, you know, we don't tolerate that regardless, you know, of, you know, who the broker or the account is, but, you know, just extra kit gloves because this broker can bring us a lot more business. And we want to make sure that this enrollment goes great for him, the client, and of course for us. So, all righty.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All righty. I guess I'm still recording. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon, and I'll get back to you with all that information.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.